Good morning. It is Monday, April 28th. This is the Automotive State of the Union. I'm Paul J. Daly. This is Michael Cirillo in the office today, while Kyle is out there gallivanting in Waymos in Arizona. He finally got to ride in one. I'm so jealous because every time we've been to Arizona or anywhere where there's Waymo, wherever we have to go is outside the radius, so we can never do it. And he was sending us all pictures and videos last night.
What a
him in a Waymo. So I'm sure there's a post incoming.
We're going to see it on LinkedIn.
I'm sure we are. Yeah. So he's out there at the DMSC conference with so many of our friends. They switched locations. They used to be in Napa. I went to that one a ton of times. Then it moved to Austin. Now it's in Arizona, Phoenix, and it's supposed to be a beautiful venue. A lot of people out there trying to get better at what they do. Kyle's out there, making sure he holds it down, and we're here holding it down on this side because we are just over. I mean, like 1 day over. 2 weeks from today, we will be, the ASOTU team will be in Hanover, Maryland, getting ready to launch ASOTUCon 2025. You got 2 weeks to buy your tickets. And I know it's the auto industry and people always wait, but it's been so much fun to watch all the tickets come in. We do still have some. You still need to be there. And we have people who have booked hotel rooms and have hotel rooms and have had hotel rooms for months, but they don't yet have tickets. So make sure it's the best time. Go to ASOTUCon.com and get your tickets. Make sure you go check out the agenda, check out the speakers, because we have hundreds of them, and they are the people you want to be collaborating with. A special thank you to our presenting sponsors this year, Reynolds and Gubagoo, for helping make this happen, for seeing the vision of the event far before anything was ready to post. So they're helping put together an amazing event. Have so many collaborators. Everyone is hyper engaged. We tend to take an activation mindset when it comes to live events. So it is not like a typical event. We think about how can we be engaging, add value to the attendees at all times, the way we lay out the show floor, the exhibit hall, the podcast stage, the main stage, the food, the beverage. It's all designed so that you can actually learn things and find the answers you're looking for to navigate these waters. So go to ASOTUCon.com, get your tickets, get your hotel room, get ready to go. Actually, it's really easy to fly into this area because you have BWI,
and
Dulles, Reagan.
5 minutes from the airport.
It's probably like 10 minutes from BWI. And if you need to fly into DC, at either of the DC airports, you can get there in like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on which one you fly into. So it's pretty easy to get to. And once you get there, you're not dealing with any traffic. You're not dealing with any mess. You don't have to run around here and there. It's all contained in one venue with a casino and lots of restaurants. It's a pretty amazing place.
It's pretty cool. And here's the thing, right? There's a lot of stuff going on, right? People have a lot going on. And I mean, if you're listening to this or you're watching this and you're thinking, man, I've just got so much going on. That's the exact reason why you need to be in that room. Because there is so much going on. But to be around other individuals who are working through practically all of the things that are going on is exactly why you need to be in that room. You can't afford to not be in that room. Just the practical takeaway. And the thing that I think about that I think is most impressive is the fact that we don't, as a ASOTU, we don't have an agenda. There's not like a thing that's powering the thing. What powers the thing is getting you in the room with other people who are proactively working through all of the things that are going on. That's why we have a
vested interest in your walking away with a lot of actionable tactics. And, a lot of people are in the middle of all these executing these large scale strategies, growing their groups and all that. If you can't go, send one or two people on your team so that you can have your head on a swivel, even though you're so focused on what you're doing. You need to know what's happening because things are changing super fast in tech, in data, in marketing, with AI. And you want that before you start making a lot of decisions and strategies that don't include what's happening right now and what will certainly impact your business and execution over the next 12 months. Let's get into some news, folks. After a full quarter, 25%, I mean, not like a financial quarter, a full quarter of U.S. automotive assembly capacity sat unused at the end of 2024. What a script flip from what it was in 2022. This suggesting unique opportunity to shift production to the U.S. amidst the backdrop of President Trump's tariffs. However, it's far more complicated than it sounds. Toyota, BMW, and Honda used over 80% of their capacity. Stellantis, GM, Ford, and Nissan have more capacity than the first three that I mentioned. but have a lot of investment and logistical hurdles. Stellantis, their Warren Truck Plant, get this, has just 17% utilization. That means 83% available, but they can't quickly absorb new models without major investment, despite being able to build related pickups and SUVs. Ford's Flat Rock assembly plant could theoretically take on new models like the Mustang Mach-E that are often made overseas or outside the US, but even the fastest transition would still take 6 months to a year. Sam Fiorini of Auto Forecast Solutions said, quote, "The rhetoric that moving assembly of vehicles into open spaces is easy and quick is just not accurate." So a lot of talk, and this is kind of practicality. Seems like there's some white space, but there's a lot of things in between just flipping the switch.
It's one of those things where all we have is time, so you might as well do something with the time. Whether it takes a month, 6 months, a year, it doesn't really matter. If we don't do something in this next time period, come this time next year, Stellantis is still going to have 17% utilization in that space. So they got to do something.
I know. And the pendulum has flipped back and forth, and often does when political parties change in office. However, it's tough to forget, or it's easy to forget, we are still like in the first 100 days of this administration. So even 6 months to a year from now, you're still going to have almost 3 full years to get market share, to fix the problem. And I mean, we're over here saying that we have no idea what it takes to tool a factory.
Bro, you buy a new pair of sneakers and wear them for 100 days. They're still not even broken in yet.
I know, it's so true. So true. Speaking of broken in or broken out. Oh,
Segue.
Time. Broken out. I got him on that one. This one may be a little salt in the wound for Nissan dealers out there, but 5 years after his dramatic escape from Japan, former Nissan and Renault CEO Carlos Ghosn is living a much quieter life in Lebanon, according to a Wall Street Journal article today, but remains an international fugitive, still shadowed by legal battles. If you remember, he escaped in a shipping crate to get out of the country.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it was like full-on spy movie. Like, put the guy in a crate, put him on a boat, get him out of there, got him to Lebanon. Ghosn lives in a disputed $20 million mansion. So, other people saying like, that's not his, right? He's running executive boot camps for mid-level managers at a Lebanese university. Students are served espresso in cups printed with, quote, "coffee increases happiness." Despite legal threats from France and Japan, Lebanon's refusal to extradite its citizens, keeping him out of reach. He's denying all accusations, still blaming Nissan insiders for orchestrating his downfall to block a deeper Renault-Nissan alliance. He remains bullish on globalization, calling recent tariff tensions a joke. Criticized the post-split struggles of Nissan and Renault, saying, quote, "Nissan is begging for some financial help, and Renault is back to what it was before 1999, a small European company," says the international fugitive. And he's got a 120-foot yacht, by the way. That's also Nissan is like, we own that yacht. That's not yours.
The fugitive. When you say fugitive to me, I'm not picturing coffee, espresso, mansion. I'm picturing 1990 Harrison Ford tumbling down a hill in a bus.
I think he doesn't seem to strike me as the kind of man who runs well.
Wow.
And so,
I mean, like, do these students not do their research on who is teaching the class?
Maybe it's a perk. Maybe you're like, oh, look, maybe they advertise it. You know what I mean? Like, international fugitive teaches our class here in Lebanon.
Okay, but like, think about the fact that we're all here just living our lives. I'm excited about, I don't know, what am I going to do? Go to Home Depot later. Mm-hmm. And there are legit people like in the movies who are tracing phone calls and trying to find a thing that they can get the guy, and he's living in a mansion, sipping his espresso, his favorite margarita right now before he goes and teaches a class, and sitting shirtless in a button-up white shirt, on a
shirtless in a shirt. I'm not getting this.
I'm just picturing like a movie scene, and he thinks,
crisp whites, little breeze, helicopter on the pad.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, look, this is funny. Sometimes, like, when you look at stories in the morning, you're like, all right, what are we going to talk about? Right. And this is just part of the legacy of automotive and manufacture that I think a lot of companies and a lot of OEMs are taking strategic shifts to get away from it. At least I can say several domestics, Japanese automakers have had nothing but a wild ride, especially for Nissan dealers. Nissan's troubles have affected a lot of friends personally and are continuing to do so. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares what he thinks about the industry. I think the Wall Street Journal just found a great way to bring an article up that has, it has definitely quite a bit of intrigue. And I think there are a lot of dealers across the country are like, how can we help you get him?
Yeah. And, I appreciate we're one of the ones not talking about Slate today.
But the reason we're not talking about Slate today, but now we are, is because we talked about it before everybody else talked about it. Right.
There you go. There you go. Hey, speaking of strategic shifts.
Stop. Segue.
Good one.
In a surprising pivot from its traditional walled garden strategy, Amazon is testing a program that lets customers shop directly from third-party brand websites without leaving its app. So shoppers can either be redirected to brand sites or complete purchases through Amazon's Buy For Me checkout feature. This is where Amazon handles payment transfers securely while shipping, returns, and customer service stay with the brand. Interesting. The move allows Amazon to collect deeper shopper data, enhancing ad targeting and product recommendations. And this is the thing, right? If you go back, 10 years, the then CEO of IBM was on stage stating that data is the new natural resource. Mm-hmm. So a shift like this makes complete sense to me. But the industry experts suggest Amazon is trading short-term sales for long-term insights and stronger ad business. So, they just double down on this. Jason Goldberg of Publicis says, quote, "The bigger share of a customer wallet they see, the better they can target ads," close quote.
Yeah. So Amazon understands what to do with customer data and shopping behavior, right? This isn't a wild swing for them, especially when you see them getting into other markets, automotive being one of them. The more data they have, especially if they know they can compete on price and compete on shipping, letting you buy products that may not be readily available or shipping you out allows them to sell that ad inventory, gives them all the data on understanding where customers are going, why. It helps to inform their product catalog. It informs their independent, straight vertical manufacturing. And it gives them more data to sell or deploy against new products like autos and selling cars. And, as they turn into more of a third-party marketplace too in automotive, this data is just going to give them an edge as they say, look, this is first-party data that we have that nobody else has. And if you list your inventory on Amazon and your targeting and everything has the benefit of this immense data. So, they can turn off the faucet whenever they want. So it doesn't surprise me that they're trying some new innovative things and allow people to stay in the app, but bounce out to these other retailers. I do think though, I think that if I'm on this platform and all of a sudden I have to deal with different shipping, fulfillment, and returns.
Yeah.
I think I'm totally going to hesitate. That's one of the biggest reasons I do business with Amazon is because the checkout, the shipping, the return process is known. And I wonder if they're going to get some pushback on that as things start to not go the Amazon way.
Well, and when I really think about it, the thing that excites me most about this is the thought of people getting their cars delivered to the wrong house, because it's like a gamble. With my Amazon packages, it is a gamble if I'm going to get my product.
I know, on time as stated.
In the right house.
This is a great comment that came in on the last story, but we're already into this one. John Roper says, Harrison Ford was innocent in Fugitive. Just here to raise awareness. That's amazing, John. Thanks for making us laugh. Was that the one where he was hiding out in the Amish house?
No, this is where
he was innocent in that one too.
This is where he gets accused of murdering his wife and knows that he's innocent because he was a well sought after surgeon and well respected and gets set up and gets into the system, then breaks out. And then Tommy Lee Jones and they come after him. And there's that one scene where they're standing in the dam, the opening of the dam, and Harrison Ford goes,
and he jumps.
I'm innocent. And Tommy Lee Jones famously says, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then he jumps out, right?
That's a great.
I got to watch that.
That's a classic. Prepare to watch it in 3-4, by the way.
Yes.
Because you're that old.
That is true. Where you get the green screen FBI warning that happens first.
Oh, with the
Or the blue
slow, with the
screen.
wobble, with the slow, like
Yeah,
copyright
yeah.
and pirating laws. Well, look, we hope at the very least, we kept you a little bit entertained and understanding where Charles Ghosn is hanging out. If you want to take a leadership class from a fugitive, you know where to go now. Look, go to ASOTUcon.com, get tickets. We're going to be talking about the actual stuff.